What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Blade Dragons podcast. I'm Alex,
I'm Elliot.
and we are the Blade Dragons, and today it is Hat Day. So, we have just gotten done watching and breaking down our basic ideas on the 5th episode of the Beyblade X anime. This one was much more filler than before. It incorporates some parts of Chapter 4 in the manga, but then also does its own thing, and there is a lot that we have to break down today.
Very interesting. We got some new characters. Hoped we would have saw more of them, but I guess they're just leading up to this next episode being pretty big, so not everyone can be jam-packed of action, but we figured out a lot of more lore behind the whole universe of Beyblade X and possibly some animation fails that we saw, and they are astronomically alarming. So I don't know how it managed to slip through the final production, but as you say, people say that this is rushed, and we found a giant flaw that we have a theory about. So we will get into that momentarily.
Absolutely. So we're gonna get started with a. Oh, there we go. Okay, nice. We're gonna get started with our talking points. We got 11 today, and I'm definitely very excited to talk about some of the ones in the middle. I think the episode was the juiciest throughout the middle of the episode, which is pretty interesting. But we're gonna go ahead and get started. Now, of course, the first thing that happens in the episode before we even get to the intro is Chrome versus Common X, which is something from the manga when the moment at which they battle for the last time as teammates before Common leaves the X Tower and goes down to climb his way back up and defeat Chrome, which is, I think they handled it pretty well.
Chrome seems like he's super serious for being the top blader, not really enjoying it. It just seems like he takes it super personal. So I don't really know his personality aspect, but we'll battle nonetheless.
Definitely, especially with shots like this here where we get a lot of flashing and, big picture, and then we get like this nice little close up of Cobalt and drawn sword. So it is interesting to see that Cobalt is naturally colored blue. So I think this is the first time we've seen like a colored metal wheel in being stock in like the first season. Because I know we didn't get colored metal wheels until like season 3 of Metal Fight, I want to say. Technically Soul Blaze. Wait, actually,
Yeah,
no.
but this one still has the paint on it, so you know.
Yeah, that's true. This one's got the paint on it. So it's definitely going to last a while. But yeah, it was cool to see Chrome and Cobalt Drake. I think Cobalt Drake is kind of ugly. I don't like how it looks. I think the blue is kind of weird.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it fits very well. It's just, I mean, blue and red are a very awkward color scheme that I get that's like Dragoon's colorway and some other bays, but it seems like it's just really overdone for his color scheme.
It is a bit conflicting. I think my thing with it is it's a lot of it just has to come down to, maybe it could be the fact that I just hate that we don't have it yet. It's hard to get. It's like 300, like between $200 and $300, 400 in some places if you look in the wrong spots. It's very expensive to get if you do not have a, like a proxy in Japan to get it for you. And we can't even get the app standardly, like regularly. It's not in the app store. You can't really make an account. You need like, I don't know, there's like some backdoors and like VPNs you can do to get it, but I haven't been able to do it, and it's a whole process. So I'm just gonna wait until Hasbro drops it in the States.
Yeah, I haven't tried to do it. So I heard a theory that maybe if you do it, it won't transfer over, it'll be region locked. So I haven't wanted to. I don't know if my Japanese release will be region locked or I can download that to the American app. We'll have to see, but I have all of my QR codes ready to be scanned in, but I just don't want to lose them and have them be stuck in Japanese and me be frustrated because I spent all this money and they're one-time codes, unlike what Hasbro did with burst that all the Baytubers would just throw them up on screen. So I'm taking my time, and we'll see what happens once the global release happens.
Exactly. And yeah. All right. So the next point that we had, this one was a little bit weird. It was about Mr. Taisho. Now, Taisho does not appear for very long in the in episode 5, but his brief appearance that he does make shows some really weird things. So if we switch over to the image here, we can see that Taisho, he's looking happy, eyes open, and he's got this little sushi guy on his head. We can see that little Mr. Sushi guy is, pretty happy. And he's got a little smile on his face. And then we go over to here, and Mr. Sushi is squinting just like Mr. Taisho. So we're wondering, what is this hair? Is this like some kind of sentient tumor that's growing out of the top of his head? Like, what is this what is his hat? What is the meaning of his hat?
A sentient tumor. That's great.
I don't know what to make of his little sushi headpiece. It's so wacky and like out of place.
It's cute. He's a very cute character for being an old man.
Definitely. I don't know.
Suits him.
It's a little bit off-putting.
No, I saw that and I was like, bro, his sushi just moved. Are there sentient beings in this world that aren't animals? Like, I don't know. I saw that and I was like, no way that I just saw his sushi have a facial expression.
And even
I
here,
knew it was going to be lore.
Is there a lore reason?
His sushi is shocked.
Yeah, he's shocked, and his sushi is shocked too. It's like we get a wide range of emotions here. It's like it's wacky. I don't know what to make of it. And then we also get a nice little bit here with Maiden, and she's got this massive pile of paperwork here, and she was like, "Oh man, I was hoping I could give this to Team Persona, just a little bit of paperwork to get them introduced to the pro." And she's just got this fat stack of papers.
Yeah. He's like, I did all this work just to introduce them, and they already ran off to do battles, and then we see Taisho Sushi, and it's funny.
Yep, and we can see she's got MLA format, size 12, 1.5 space.
Times new.
She's going to submit this to her professor later, and she's going to get an A++ with this paper. Oh man, this is giving me flashbacks to college. Although
she
college
takes her job seriously. Good work, Taisho, getting a very good employee.
Exact. Also, what is he scooping up? Is this
that? I saw that and I was like,
is this guano of some kind?
It's like that must be bird's feathers or something.
Birds. Yeah, it's just bird droppings.
Bird just sheds.
He's not allowed to use the bathroom inside. He's got to go outside in the middle of the night. He's got to hold it all day. See, this is what happens when you get to the pro league. And you don't win. You gotta do your business outside.
Oh, Bird, what are we gonna do with you?
Very sad, very sad. Our boy's been degraded to doing that. So we're gonna have to see throughout the series, the different facial expressions of Taisho's headpiece. I'm definitely excited to spot that. That'll be a little game. Let us know.
Easter eggs there. I love it.
Let us know in the comments if you guys notice any other expressions on Taisho's sushi headpiece. It's gonna be our little game.
Or other headpieces. We've already seen that they might have different headpieces for him, so that'll be very, very cool to see.
Yep, spot the Taisho headpiece. That's gonna be our little game. All right, so our next thing. This was something that both of us we kind of like double taked on it. It is just wild what we found, and it's jarring. And if we pull it up on the screen here, we can see that we've got like a little bay case in the lobby, in the public lobby of the X Tower. But if you guys notice, there is some suspicious looking things coming out of Shark Edge here, and then we can also see some stuff coming out of Wizard Arrow here, and we can see some stuff coming out of the other Shark Edge. And if we zoom in a little more, we can see Night Shield's got some stuff coming out.
The bottom right, Wizard Arrow.
Yep, and then like over here we can see like some more stuff going on, and then Wizard Arrow's got stuff, and we gotta wonder, was, and I think what really gives it away though is the Wizard Arrow on the bottom here, and the Shark Edge over here, because if I can get a good zoom out here, perfect. This kind of looks like it could be the Valkyrie layer, and this looks like it could be the Fenrir Fafnir layer from Burst. So was this, Burst fans, or people that watch the anime rather, was this like something that was shown in Burst at some point, and then now 80K is reusing that asset, but they're just slapping the Beyblade X blades on top of it? Because like this, and it's on the same side here. There's another side that they show, but you know, it looks wild, and you gotta wonder, like, you know, what happened here.
Yeah, there's only like 3 or 4 Beyblades that are perfect, like actual X-Bays. All of them have some sort of artifacting under it, like there's something below it, and I'm like, I don't recall them ever doing something like this in Burst, because Burst, there weren't duplicates of them. Like, they didn't just give their bays to go sit in a case for the shot. So I'm confused on what they're exactly doing, or how this animation slipped through to the final production. But we saw this and we're like, why are these so interesting? I'm like, are we gonna get a reverse watermelon Wizard Arrow, but then it has blue and yellow on it? And then we started looking and we're like, what is going on with some of these bays? Like, they don't belong here, and we don't know what happened to them.
It's, I think it's probably what, you know, everyone's been trashing 80K for the Beyblade X anime, which is just they rushed it out and they missed this. So I don't even know how they missed it. It's so obvious. I mean, we noticed it. This is a zoomed up screenshot, by the way. We noticed this like when it was zoomed out, and it's like not as visible. And
It wasn't even like a slow motion pan. Like, it was like 3 to 5 seconds of a pan up, maybe, and right away we saw it and we're like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
it was just so weird. I mean, we paused on it to look at the recolors, because we got like the Shark Edge up in the corner that my face cam is blocking. I'll just slide that down real quick.
Yeah,
But
we
like,
got a lot of the colorways that we just got, like the grape night shield, that, and then the sour apple Shark Edge. So we got watermelon wizard that we're hoping to get. It's pretty hideous, but I could see them start doing two tones. They're just throwing out some random stuff. So
I hope we do get
but yeah,
watermelon Wizard Arrow. Melon Arrow, I need that. I need that for my meme Beyblade collections. But it's very interesting that they just let that slide, and I don't know like if those are actually burst layers or not. That's just what it looks like from behind the X blades, but it's very sloppy. And I mean, you know, 80K has the anime itself, in terms of the like what is being shown, is getting better. I know the first 3 episodes we weren't, or the first 2, I think, episodes, we weren't like too engaged with the story, but they definitely stepped it up. Or like, yeah, I think it was the first 3, but like 4 was really good. Episode 5 also has a lot of really good content. But it's, you know, it's these parts, it's the animation itself that's just kind of jarring, and I think this is a great example of why people are saying that it's not a good anime and that it's rushed.
it's weird. It's like they did do burst, but why would they put in placeholders that are a different Beyblade? Like, it doesn't make any sense why that would need to be there or anything. But we'll move past that. If it happens again, I'm sure we're not the only ones that have seen this, but it is what it is. Can't really do anything. Like we said, they'll probably find a better footing for season 2 of this anime. So we'll just have to see.
Hopefully they get better with time. And another great example of some stuff that is relatively disappointing with the animation is when Team Persona enters the grand lobby of the Pro League. So there's the Amateur League lobby, and then there's the Pro League lobby, where only the pros can like hang out. And if we just take a look at this lobby here, it is so empty and boring. All the characters here look so just bland. They look like regular anime characters, no like crazy hair or anything. And like Bird's crummy teammates that left him, they were cooler than every single person in this shot combined. And they did do like some panning shots where they showed like, more detailed models of, people that are in the X lobby or in the pro lobby. And they looked like generic characters you'd find on the street. It's just jarring how empty it is for, what you would assume to be a hub, somewhere that's very active.
Yeah, I understand the concept of, no, not everyone's a pro blader, I swear. Bird just managed to become pro because he found the world's best Beyblader, I swear. But, the fact that they could have used this, I get that they're trying to build tension, like King and, team, whatever, I forget their name. But, like, they're just kind of trickling out the enemies, but this could have been so cool that it could have just done a pan shot of, like, insane villains that are like 10 times the size of Bird, and he's like, oh my god, I'm gonna have to go up against him, and yet they just make it so Bird is scared of a 3'4" king that's kind of buff.
Yeah, it's it's wild, but I don't know. It's just really it's another good example of just how rushed Beyblade X anime has been in terms of the animation quality. Very disappointing,
It
and
looks more like a library than a freaking Bay
it really
hub.
does.
It's like you don't even see a single Beyblade in here. Like people are reading books. Like
Yeah,
what is going on here? You can't. This looks like a shopping center.
there's no Beyblading, there's no stadiums, there's no logos, no like WBBA, no WBO, no
Yeah,
Beyblade X logo on the back wall there, like no like decor that looks like it would be a Beyblade facility. Like it's just bland. It looks like any place you could go in Japan. It's just, what were they thinking? Ridiculous.
Don't know. They did. The only way we could tell that the intro lobby was a Bay thing was because they showed the Bay case and the hologram that will show. But it was like, bro, what is going on here? It's like you walk into a museum, not a Bay center.
Exactly. Just so jarring, and you just wouldn't expect to see something like that. 80K, you guys really got to step it up going forward. More population, more variation. You got to get better at this. Come on. Put some branding on it too.
Yeah, this is just very generic. Like you mentioned, I think it was episode 2. There's not a single bird in the sky or a pedestrian in some of these shots outside. It's like if this train wasn't the focus of this shot, there wouldn't be any movement in it. It's like, what is this? Like, I get that animation is difficult, but I don't know if your team is half the size of some other facilities. Like, it just doesn't make any sense why you can't copy and paste assets and just duplicate birds across the sky to at least give it a little motion or something. Like, I don't know. It just seems lackluster.
It is disappointing, and I mean, of course, we understand that work conditions in Japan are pretty tough. It's not the easiest thing to animate, an anime, especially on this like quick of a notice. Like the toy line and the manga like just came out, and now we're getting the anime rolling like so quickly. It's definitely something very new, but at the same time, it is Beyblade, and Takara has been taking a lot of steps to really, progress Beyblade into the mainstream, marketing it as a sport, all of bringing back features that fans liked from previous generations, and all of this, amazing marketing that they've been doing. And the anime falling this flat on its face is disappointing for, the standards that the rest of the generation has been, shown to be held to so far.
Yeah, there's a lot of points that we love, but it's the fact that I get that not everybody's going to be a harsh critic. That if I wasn't being a very solid fan of this generation, and I was just like, oh, cool new Beyblade, it would probably be fine. But saying that I'm following this so closely, it's like they're tiny things, but they're all adding up really fast, and they just started. Like, uh, I don't know, the emotions and some of the character development already are good. They've done more anime reactions, not like Beyblade. So they are melding it more into like an actual proper anime, but they're just cutting too many corners and it's just feeling very unpolished for being such a high budget. Like I don't know the budget for animes, but it's definitely millions of dollars, especially from Takara Tomy and Hasbro. So I don't know. Obviously I can't do anything near this, so it is what it is, but we'll just have to see going forward in these next seasons because the products are insane. We've mentioned this so many times that the concept of X is astronomically clever, that the potential is out of this world. But if they can't support the anime and have it be like Saturday cartoons and have people raving over the actual anime, it's not really gonna stay going. The traction's just gonna kind of die.
It's they got to step it up. It's lacking in places that it shouldn't be for Beyblade of all animes, and we need to. They got to tighten it up. We got to tighten it up. So, anyways, we're gonna take a break from crapping all over everybody for that, and we're gonna talk about the training room and the facility that was shown. Now, the training room was really cool. It was massive and it had, a stadium and a big screen, and we can see here that this is an entire control panel dedicated to the room, just one training room. And there's like, augmented reality stuff and all kinds of like crazy things that happen in it. And of course, and here's a good example of like the augmented reality when the AI girl showed up, when AI Ichigo showed up. She entered with like this big storm and like, was freaking everybody out. And like, X and Multi were also stunned. They were like, whoa, hold on. What's happening? It was,
No,
yeah,
like
it was.
literal clouds rolled in and lightning shot around. We're like, what is going on here? And then it just turned out to be a 4X thing, and
Mm-hmm.
that's the term that they're calling it in the subtitles. I thought it was more translated in like a 4D experience that's like super lifelike, but
It's
4X is what
also
the translation was.
it's also in the manga. They scanlated and called it 4X. So I think
Okay.
it is supposed to be 4X, which is interesting. Gotta wonder if they maybe stole that from 4D from Metal Fight, but
It's probably like a play on 4D, 3D, and they're like, oh, it's Beyblade X. We'll just make it 4X. Okay.
maybe that could very well be what it is. But it was just the training rooms were really cool, and I wouldn't have expected something that high tech so
Mhm.
soon. It's
They're
like it.
they're simple, but they make them work in ways that are clever. It's like the first training gym that we saw in the bottom of the sushi shop. It's simple, but it gets the job done. And
Mm-hmm.
then with all this technology that they're able to implement into this series, that they can turn nothing into something very extreme, which is pretty clever. But it's just an interesting route they're taking on some of these experiences.
Exactly. AI and holograms and high tech is something that we've definitely seen throughout every generation of Beyblade thus far, but it was always exclusive to someone who was rich or like a proper organization. So like, Wakia had his massive built-in home gym, and then there was the Dark Nebula organization, and Merci, who was an AI, and then later in DNA and Shogun Steel they had like the Doji hologram, and that whole anime happened. We don't talk about Shogun Steel for a reason. And then even in I believe they had like they had a lot of high tech stuff in V Force. There was like that giant robot that Tyson battled, and there was also
There was a bunch of
um
cyber bit beasts and technology mad scientists. Like
mm-hmm.
there's been cutting edge in Beyblade for a while now, and it's finally coming to be more real life. Like back in 2002, no one would have ever thought that you could have made a hologram Beyblade or whatever, and honestly, that could probably happen nowadays.
Yeah, it really could. Technology just goes by so fast, but I think what is so interesting about X is like, this is just the WBBA training center. Like all of the Bay Parks and like gyms throughout, every other series has been very standard. You've got like seating, you've got some maybe extra battle rooms or like little arcade training centers. But like here at the Pro League, it's like when you make it to the world stage, you have access to like all of the cool high tech stuff that in previous gens was usually reserved for like a very minimal amount of characters and bladers. So it's unique. It's interesting that technology in our reality has progressed far enough to that the technology that was once very exclusive in previous gens is now commonplace in the new generation.
And they mentioned something very interesting. We pointed out that there's not a lot of professionals in that hub, but there's also a reservation system that you need to reserve a training room, which is unique because it doesn't need to be that way. Like, you don't need the 4X system to train, but apparently they only have a handful of these reservation room only training facilities, and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
really? I mean, I get it, your Beyblade is super powerful, but the hologram doesn't do anything besides Gary your opponent like we see with Bird. I'm sure we got something along the lines, but he was scared when he saw Common's avatar for the first time. So
Mm-hmm.
it's different that there's a waiting line. It's not like the B pit. There were just kids everywhere, dozens of stadiums. All these training halls always have just dozens of stadiums that you can use, and they're just training. They're not the main stage one, so they're a little less gimmicky, or they don't have like the slingshot that Burst had or whatever. They're just normal training facility stadiums, but they're doing a different route on training, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to see what kind of training montages we get down the road with Beyblade X. Is it always going to be in a nice gym, or is it going to be? Are we going to get wilderness stadiums again? I guess time will tell with that one. So the next thing that we got is definitely interesting. This one's a little bit of a packed topic, and it is of course the X versus Bird battle, which never happens in the manga. This is brand new. All this training stuff that they did with the AI and then AI Ichigo, which we'll talk about in a bit, it was not in the manga. So if we take a look at the screenshot, the manga, keep in mind, uses the Extreme Stadium that you can buy from Takara Tomy. It uses the real life stadium. And it's interesting that the manga uses these very similar stadiums, but they look kind of like a hybrid of the Burst Anime Stadium. But then they also have these that we mentioned. I'm pretty sure we mentioned these in before, how they have like these very large, sections that kind of go out around the stadium past the X line. It's like an outer edge. And Kamen uses Drawn Sword to go along these edges and then use it to get like more speed in his attack when he's battling Bird here, which is phenomenally interesting to see that. And that makes me wonder, is this a stadium that we're going to see coming soon? Because I think there's a new stadium release coming next
Yes,
year.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if you heard, but instead of BX, they're switching it to UT, I believe, or is it UX? I don't
It's
remember.
UX. So actually, I did look at that. I saw like the lineup. I think UX is going to be something more like like Electro Beyblades or like something like that, because it's in the middle. It's not going to be a new system. It's just it's like wedged in the middle of like the regular BX releases. So it goes like BX 29 and then UX 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then it goes back to like BX 30, 31, etc. So I don't think it's gonna be it's like a new system or like an upgrade or anything. I think it might be like a special thing, kind of like how XTS was. Maybe that's my theory of it right now, but it doesn't look like it's gonna be. We're not gonna. It's not gonna end the current X system that we have now and move on to like something else.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it's some sort of merchandise or whatever, like third party, or not third party, but like something that isn't necessarily necessary for battles. That I don't know if they're gonna do more Well, I guess the Bay cases are part of the BX line. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It could be a lot of things that are interesting, but I don't know. It's very weird that within the first year they're already doing different abbreviations. How simple the system is, I really hope they don't just start overcomplicating it, and by next year when the US or the global release happens, we have BX, UX, WX, and it's like, okay, so what am I playing with now?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, this is us just theorizing. We're still months away, or at least a couple months away from actually hearing about what UX could mean. So it could honestly be something as simple as like tournament cards. Because I know that was something that Hasbro did. So it could be it could just be like a very specific accessory that we've seen. So, we'll just have to wait and see what happens with it. But I think one of the later 20s or early 30 BX releases is a stadium, so I gotta wonder if we're gonna see, a stadium like this where it's got like a big outer edge. Because, there is an outer edge in the X stadium we have now, but it's not that big. So, I gotta wonder if they're gonna make like a massive stadium like this that, it's got like wide outer edges, or maybe just a smaller inner circle.
It would be very cool to get a larger stadium because that's like the DB Stadium in Burst, the last one that was double the size because the bays got double the size. It was a very cool concept, but the bays just weren't able to take full advantage of it because they wouldn't go fast enough. And with this X line, if they can make a bigger stadium and give them even more run up on that extreme line, it'll just scale and scale and scale. Like there won't be a limit of how cool these will be. So if they can make something like this, that they can, I think we talked about this in the end of the last episode, but they like ramp up, come back down, and then catch the extreme line and go. Oh my gosh, man, that'd be insane.
It would be nice to see like large stadiums because I know in Metal Fight Hasbro was huge on that. Like Metal Masters and Metal Fusion's big Hasbro stadiums, like the Pegasus Thunder Whip, the Lightning El Drago Stadium, Burning Fire Strike, Max Stampede, all those stadiums, and like that design, that like mold of stadium had a lot of room, very similar to this, where it had like that outer line for the tips to catch and like ride that, but then it also had like extra room beyond that near the walls and like by the pockets. So I wonder if we're gonna see like wacky large designs like this coming from Takara, because Takara has always had like, no one heard that, we didn't hear any of that. Takara has always done like smaller stadiums. Like if we look at Metal Fight again, BB10, the Square Stadium, like most of their stadiums are relatively small and are more like in line with the size of the tops. For that generation. So like you said, the stadiums for DB got bigger to accommodate the bays getting larger. And, we didn't see too much, size increase with Metal Fight, so the stadiums never got, like, super big. It's interesting with X because of how fast it is. And the X line, of course, speeds Beyblades up. So, will we see this outer edge be something? Or will we see, like, an X line that goes into the outer edge and like puts you out like on the top ring and then allows you to like zoom back down? There's all kinds of interesting ideas that go around in our heads when we think of if a new stadium's coming out. So I'm definitely curious to see if they're going to take inspiration from the anime stadium and have that large outer ramp to use.
Because Hasbro with Burst took a lot of initiative into making creative stadiums that no one ever used because they didn't work properly, because Burst just wasn't really acclimated to take advantage of all these unique concepts that Hasbro thought up. So now hopefully Takara, I feel like Takara is like the Apple of Beyblade. They let Hasbro throw all the things against the wall and watch him fail, and now Takara is gonna polish him up and allow him to actually be a very cool profit or practical use. So we'll see. There's years and years to see, but cool concepts.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited for the stadiums, and of course, also we can't talk about this battle without mentioning the holograms. So one thing that I saw with some people was that they didn't really want the avatars or the fantasy aspect of Beyblades, which typically, previously, especially in Metal Fight and Plastic Gen, Beyblades had a spirit inside of them. Usually it took the form of like a mythological creature or being or an animal. So we saw Pegasus, we saw Leon or Leo, a lot of constellations, mythologic characters would, be, prime examples of avatars. And it's interesting in Beyblade X because they've changed that. It's no longer fantasy, but they did keep the avatars. They just integrated it into the new AR hologram idea, and they made all of the characters holograms. So you can kind of see in this picture of Drawn Sword here, or Ord, as we've been lovingly calling this big boy. Ord's got like all these glitches and all of you can see all like the bits around him that he is a hologram. So it's nice that they took away the fantasy aspect and made Beyblade X, because it is a sport in real life, they made it more real in that sense, but they still incorporated the avatars through holograms. And I think that was a really smart and intuitive decision to make on Takara's part for the anime. I think it definitely benefits it, because like I said, you keep the beasts, and if people like that, they still got them. But then people that like the sport and just the tops themselves, you get that too.
Yeah, personally, I wasn't a fan of what they really did with Burst. That it was just kind of weird how they incorporated the avatars into it. That they weren't really prominent, but they were also part of the series. And it's avatars in X are really just a cherry on top, that it just makes the battle boom. So they're not necessary obviously Taisho Sushi is sentient, so maybe Drawn Sword is also. So we honestly don't know how it's all going to play out, but as of now it seems like it's just an effect to keep the live streams and the battles in general like really extreme and whatnot, that they don't power up, it doesn't seem like, or really do anything. Because in Bakuten Shoot, I believe, yeah, they were physical creatures that they would blow things up and literally do crazy stuff. So they're just an aspect to make it more entertaining for the viewers. So I like how they kept it, because it is a very good picture representation of the Beyblade fighting. I don't know, because in Bakuten Shoot, I think there were actual struggles between like Dragoon and other bit beasts, but I don't recall. Well, I guess Pegasus kind of got body slammed a few times and whatnot, but since they're holograms, I don't really think we'd have any like altercations between the actual holograms themselves.
Yeah, like I think they'll show, like, if there's two holograms at the same time, they'll show the holograms battling, but it's not gonna like crack the stadium or like destroy the stands or like kill someone or anything like that. It's not gonna be like extreme, like in that sense. Although season 2, but anyway, all jokes aside, but like the avatars are not going to be destroying things. In like Metal Fight, we saw El Drago just eat through Hades City as it was flying through the sky. We're not going to see that at all. The avatars are going to be strictly in these 4X battles and just sort of eye candy along with the battle, with the Beyblades battling. So I think it's definitely a great concept where it's like they've got that visual fantasy aspect, but it doesn't affect the sport like it has in the past. So definitely a smart move with that.
Nope, just enough to keep it entertaining, but nothing to really take away from real life. So.
Definitely. I like that. I like that it's realistic. Beyblade. It always sucked when you couldn't pull off Pegasus Star Blast attack, but now there's a heavy emphasis that anything the Beyblades do in the show, you can recreate naturally in battle without having to take your Beyblade out and like hold it above the stadium and launch it sideways to do Pegasus Star Blast attack or whatever. So I love that aspect about it. Definitely like that. And now, of course, we come to something that I'm surprised the manga really hasn't touched on yet, and it's interesting that this character is so prominent in the anime. I gotta wonder what the reasoning is behind that, and it is, of course, our lovely AI mascot, who I think Ichigo translates to number one. So her name is literally mascot AI number one, but we're for all intents and purposes and ease of vocalization, we're just gonna call her Ichigo. But of course, we've got Ichigo here, who is this hologram AI anime girl, AI girl. Sorry, obviously it's an anime, but she's not an announcer, which is something that it wasn't clear in the manga. What Ichigo was. I don't even think she speaks or really does anything in chapters 1 through 5. But here, we're not even at the events of chapter 5 in the manga, and yet she's talking and interacting with characters and all that. And I think her purpose, at least in the anime, is she's like the mascot of Beyblade X. So it's like how McDonald's has Ronald McDonald, or Burger King has their creepy king that they made a crappy Xbox game out of, or Wendy's got Wendy, etc., etc. Beyblade Pro League has Ichigo.
Yeah, it seems like she might be like a receptionist. Like, she did bring up the schedules for the tournament or for the practices, so maybe she might be like an iRobot that she's integrated into the entire ecosystem of Beyblade, and she will always be there to fix something or schedule whatever. So, with being an AI, there's just a lot of ways to have her incorporated, but SNL doesn't seem like she really does much. She just kind of got mad at Bird and in common for battling without permission, but oh, I'm sorry, the 10 people reading books in the lobby didn't stop me because they were waiting in line first, but whatever.
Exactly. It's like she's all mad about like the reservations, but there was literally nobody who looked like they were going to be Beyblading in there. It was, I don't even know, man. There's 80K, make some more interesting character sprites, please. But anyways, also I love the screenshot. Like, where's the main characters, guys? Where are the main characters at on screen right now? Man, I just can't seem to find them. Oh, look at these 3 very detailed, brightly colored characters standing right in the general bottom right side of the screen. Oh, yeah, it'd be nice to see some like variation.
It seems like the only reason they put in effort is if they actually have screen time, but like none of these guys look like Beybladers. Like, I understand that they also did talk that Common's been there a lot because he's a professional. Malty, I don't think had ever been there, neither. And then Bird said he was reserving it for when he became a professional. So granted, a lot of people from the community are allowed to go in here, but like I said, I don't know if it's a museum or what, because they didn't show any battles or progress being made until you got into the professional area that the other people that were reading books were doing. So I
Exactly.
don't know what the whole purpose of the bottom of the X Tower is. And as of now, it seems like the X Tower is scaled astronomically compared to what they're gonna fill it with. Like,
Yeah,
what are
what?
they gonna do? There's like what, 3,000 floors or something, I
Something
think
like that.
someone said, and oh my gosh, teams of 3.
How many people are Beyblading in the Pro League? Like, there is no way that every single floor is like packed. You know what? That's it. That's why the X Tower is so empty. It's so massive. There's just not enough bladers to like split on all levels. All right, 80K. I see you with that. I'm not happy, but whatever.
I don't know. It just seems like there's like the size of that is literally like an adventure of One Piece. Like, they're gonna go just explore the entire Grand Line before they get to the top, and they're just gonna have each individual universes inside of this X Tower. But at that same time, I would like to see them move past the X Tower after season 1. Like,
Definitely.
if they're gonna bring the X Tower to season 4 or season 5, I don't think anyone's gonna tune in.
Yeah, pretty much. It's gonna be similar to, wait, actually no, that's not a good comparison. Anyway, but it's like, we definitely don't want to see the characters staying in the same place. Metal Fight anime was great because they never stayed in the same place, for 2 seasons in a row. It was Metal Bay City, and not even that. They just kind of went, to a lot of different places. They toured the nation once the Battle Bladers thing started, and they came back for Battle Bladers, and then season 2 was the World Championship, so they were going everywhere. And then season 3 was, Legendary Bladers and all that, so they were still going around the world to new places, and then, seeing old friends and everything. And then season 4, we went back to Metal Bay City, but it was like 7 years later after it got rebuilt. So it was basically a new place. So it's like, the visuals, and then the same with every other generation, it's never the same place that they're at. What is it, like, season 1 of Burst takes place, like, in, like, the home city, and then afterwards it like, starts in Spain for
Spain.
season 2. Yeah, it's like, Beyblade never stays in the same place. I would be very surprised if we're seeing the X Tower as, like, a main place in season 2. I think season 2, most people are saying it's going to be the World Championship, which makes sense. It's like, we'll climb the X Tower in season 1, season 2, we'll visit the Twin Towers. That's a joke. Kidding.
It'll be the Y Towers.
Yep, it's going to go to the Y Tower.
I'm struggling to make a Y.
Yep, it's going to go to the
oh
my gosh. Oh my god, I can't do that. It is hard.
I was like, I've never tried to do that, but I guess this is how you make a Y.
Yep, we got to YMCA it. But yeah, so they're going to go to the Y Tower, and then the Z Tower, and then they're going to go to the Alpha Tower. And then they're going
to go to the X Tower again.
They're going to go to the XXX Tower. Ooh. No, I'm kidding. That's not happening. Hey, you know what? Tack on, make it like 10 years, and then we can visit the XXX Tower. We got to make sure everyone is appropriately aged for that. We're obviously kidding. This is just a dumb joke. And moving on. But back to Ichigo, who I can't believe we strayed that far away from for a bit.
That's why I enjoy this podcast. We just start talking about things, and we just end up talking about whatever, which is the whole point of a podcast that I enjoy.
Exactly.
So we'll like to see what happens, because, like, in Bakatenshu, they literally go to Russia, and like, Kai is battling in a frozen lake and almost dies because he has Black Dronzer taking control of him. And it's like, bro, they're literally in the middle of an ice storm right now. So, I don't know. There's a lot that I hope they take advantage of, but if they just keep sugarcoating this and just being weird about it, I don't know. I like the concept, but it seems like they're just making it a weak anime.
Yeah. I want to go on like a very brief tangent here about Bakuten Shoot, because this is something that I've only ever seen in season 1 of Bakuten Shoot. Like, never again did we ever see anything this interesting, and it was the launchers in season 1. They had the most creative Beyblade launchers ever. You had football launchers and baseball launchers and a tennis racket launcher. You had, like, the microphone launcher from the one dude. Then let's talk about the Russian team, the Demolition Boys. They had guns. They just had gun launchers. They just had rifles with Beyblade launchers on the end, and that was their thing. And I remembered that because I got an upcoming video on my channel soon that is going to be somewhat related to the Demolition Boys in a very minor way. But, like, they just had these gun launchers, and I remember seeing that when they first showed up to, like, ambush Kai, and after they saved him from Black Dronzer and everything. And they show up, and they just have these guns, and I'm like, what are they gonna do? And then they just launch their Beyblade. It's like, what is, like, they're definitely, with how crazy the battles in Beyblade X are themselves, we're never gonna see, like, stupid launchers like that. But I really wish that we had gotten, like, some wacky IRL launchers, which Hasbro did in Metal Fight, and, that's probably a topic for another day. But, like, where's my tennis racket launcher? Where is my stick shift manual car launcher? Like, where's that at? Where I hit the clutch pedal and shift into third gear, my Beyblade gets launched out of one of the headlights. Like, I need that as my entire launcher. It is a whole car with a Beyblade launcher in it. I need that.
That'd be great.
Oh man, but all jokes aside, that's our little tangent. Maybe we'll go into like we'll go further into detail one day and make that a topic for Blade Dragons, where we go on about the launchers of Bucket and Shoot. That would be fun. But anyways, so back to Beyblade X episode 5. Our next point is more of a joke point, and you know, I didn't even know what was going on because I was just laughing at the jokes that we made. But anyone who has been on the Batman Arkham subreddit lately and is familiar with the man memes will know that, you know, what is Man doing here? Is there a lore reason for Man to be in Beyblade in the Pro League right now? Why is Man talking to Bird? Is he stupid?
Yeah, I don't know why. I literally, as soon as I saw this man, I don't know if I saw the glasses and I thought it was going to be a full face mask. I was like, what is Batman doing here?
Yep. Batman has appeared, and he is, you know, he's just looking for the Jonkler, man. He wants to battle the Jonkler in Beyblade. You know, there's the new Batman Arkham game actually takes place in the X Tower. They've got Beyblades now. It's Man versus Jonkler and all that.
Man
but yeah,
is using a bat. Is he a Batman?
Yeah. Why does this man have a bat? Is he stupid? But anyways, yeah, we found this Batman-looking character just kind of explaining whatever. I don't even. What did he even explain?
He just shows up and he's like, I'm a professional, and then just leaves.
Was there a lore reason? Is he stupid?
No, we asked for other characters and they give us Tron Man.
Yep, they give us this dude here,
No,
like...
It's off-brand Daft Punk, dude. He just has the glasses. He can't afford the full helmet.
Yep, he was a reject from Daft Punk. You know, Common didn't want him on the band. It didn't work out, and now he's leaving the tower for his sponsor, or whatever the subtitles are saying. But anyways,
oh, I think no, he didn't mention it, but there's an order of operations that management contacts your sponsor contacts them, and it's literally like, oh, get a hold of my people to get a hold of your people. Now it's like, oh, okay.
oh, yeah, I remember seeing something like that in the subs. I don't know, it's weird. This dude is kind of wacky. I hope he comes back, though. He was kind of funny. Like, I genuinely hope that he's, like, near the top of the X Tower. What if he is the replacement for Common X on Pendragon?
He looks like just a knockoff.
That would be so funny. I don't know. I kind of like this dude, but only because you mentioned that he looked like Batman, and then I started making all the man jokes about him. Which, if you don't know, if you want to see more of those man jokes that we're referring to, go check out the r/Batman Arkham on Reddit. It's a trip. It's a trip. I'll say that.
So bad.
It's so bad, but it's so funny. I don't know. I like that kind of stupid humor. I love it. But anyways, so that is our deep dive into Batman's appearance in Beyblade. At least for now. Maybe he'll come back. I would love that. I want to have a reason to bring this dude up again. But anyways, so of course, you know, one thing that we both love about the Beyblade X anime thus far is how expressive everyone is. You know, everyone is filled with energy, and you know, everyone's excited and all that. And Common and Bird are definitely the two most expressive characters. And of course, what would a Beyblade X anime episode be without featuring the two of them getting worked up about some stuff and then just running around like a couple of idiots? And of course, Multi is just in the middle of this, and she, for the whole episode, honestly, Multi just looks done and fed up with Bird and Common. She's like,
can we just take a look at these subtitles I didn't even try to get? I wonder if Size will show up like that.
Once again, auto subs came in and was just so funny.
Oh, Size.
Oh, I love it. But it was so funny seeing them just like running around everywhere like idiots. And I love their energy. I love Common and Bird and just how, like, happy and dumb they are. And they're just goofy. And of course, I love goofiness. So I'm all for
Mm-hmm.
these dynamics here.
Nope, that guy with the binder's like, oh, why'd you come to the library? I'm trying to Beyblade here. It's like, oh, okay, well, I didn't bring my history book of Beyblade to study. Bird has his tiny notepad. Do these dudes really need like 5 textbooks? Like, what are they doing?
I know, yeah, like, what's going on here? Is this a college or a Beyblade tower? Like, they need to step it up. They gotta get their money up, not their funny up. Wow. I'm gonna play that in the Discord soundboard real quick. I'll play you that clip.
Get your money
Hey,
up,
you
not your
got the
funny up.
crowd.
Yeah, it. Oh man, but yeah. Anyways, it's I love Common and Bird and their chemistry. It's wholesome. It's so fun.
Oh, what was it? Oh, at the beginning, when or no, it wasn't at the begin. I don't know, but when Common was fighting Chrome, he was like so serious, and then just got so ready to battle. He's like, ah, "It's gonna be so much fun." Or
Yeah,
when Ryuga was doing the interview and like talking about Common, Common was like shaking like he's getting ready, and then he just starts laughing. He's like, "I'm so ready to fight you, Chrome."
he's so funny. I love him. I love him so much. He makes me happy. But of course, that's our weekly quota of Common being wholesome and all of that good stuff. Now, of course, the King versus Takumi exhibition battle shows up, and we see Takumi, who crushed Bird's Beyblade, which we did get some nice PTSD flashbacks. We got the nom flashes for Bird of Strike Hawk getting destroyed, or I guess Bird Arrow. I'm gonna as we like to say around here, but yeah, we
Hmm.
got to see King for the first time, and of course, King is the owner of Landclaw. King's design is fantastic. I think King is a really cool character, and we're definitely going to see more of him in the next couple episodes with the battles. If you've read the manga, you definitely know what's up. But King is definitely a great character, and I hope he's recurring. I hope we see him come back, and I think they'll do that. But definitely I want like I want the cool characters like King and Man from earlier to come back and be like regulars on the teams and the show. But it's we get to see King, and of course we get to see Landclaw in his battle. And I don't know what Chloe is doing in the subtitles here, but Landclaw it looks pretty beastly. Definitely a lot more
Hmm.
detailed than Leone from Metal Fight. There's a lot more color and a lot more detail. And even got some face tats going on up here, which is pretty
Oh
dope.
yeah.
Um, Now with this battle, I know that back in I think like episode 1 or 2 when we were talking about Stone Mont Blanc, we were hoping that of course Stone Mont Blanc being a mountain, it's just Mount Fuji is the avatar. We were hoping that whenever we get to see its avatar, it's just a nice big mountain that erupts out of the Beyblade, but no, apparently the animators decided not to be fun, and they just made it a big ass shield.
Is this? Where does this even come from? Oh, wait. He's a defense type. We forgot.
I get it's the Night Shield blade and whatever. It's just a Night Shield recolor with the mountain in the middle of it. But really, you couldn't have just taken the time to animate a nice big pointy mountain erupting from in this Beyblade? Like, come on, come on. We got duped so hard on this one. It's just a dumb shield that disgraceful. I'm so pissed.
No, they didn't dwell on it. They were that ashamed of it. It literally was like a 2 frame thing. We had to rewind it. It was like, was that a damn shield? What the hell?
Yeah, it was like, we had to double take that. It's like, wait a minute, hold up. Don't tell me that that's Mont Blanc. And nope, it is. It's just a shield. It's not Mount Fuji. I'm sorry to disappoint you all, but we're not getting our big stone mountain like we wanted to. And I'm so sad. I'm gonna cry now. After we finish recording, I'm gonna go cry in a corner. There's no mountain. but
Right.
of course,
We get Krabby Krab.
yep, we get our main characters of Team Zuganic, and they look pretty ballin' right now. We get I actually forgot their names. I believe
I never
Togaru.
knew him.
I believe Togaru is this character right here. I'm pretty sure that's his name, Toguro, something like that. And then we got King, of course. And then we've got Cho Pai or Chopan, which I'm a little embarrassed that I don't know these. Let me, you know what? We're gonna go to the magic Google machine, and we're gonna look up Team Zuganic. Okay, we got King. We got King Manju. Okay, Toguro Okunaga. So I was right on that one. And then Chopan. Okay, so I was right. I knew it. But yeah, so that is our lineup for Team Zuganic. Definitely excited to see their Beyblades. You know, we got to see Claw a little bit in the battle with King, and then Toguro here is the owner of Viper Tail, and Chopan is the owner of Rhino Horn. And you know, we'll be seeing those Beyblades very soon. Now, if you've read the manga, you definitely know that there's some interesting stuff that happens in Chapter 5 with Viper Tail and Rhino Horn and Lion Claw. But, you know, we'll get to that in the anime when it comes there. We're not going to spoil it. But, you know, I do like the colors and the designs here. You know, it's not, like, super over-the-top, unrealistic, like we've seen in the past. Like, you know, I definitely like the distinguishing aspects of, you know, main characters or, like, you know, people that are bladers. But at the same time, these designs are something that you would probably see someone in real life wearing. You know, it's like, let's look at Toguro. He's got like a you know, a tall collared shirt with a coat of, you know, he's wearing it, you know, very weirdly, but, you know, he's just got a coat. And then we see Chopan, who's got like this little cape, or maybe it's like a fur coat, and then a shirt and some shorts. And then King's got like a little vest jacket with an undershirt, and then, you know, big belt with just some shorts and some boots on. And it's like,
He's John Cena. He's got the WWE belt.
yep. You know, we're gonna watch the Undertaker take on John Cena this Sunday night at the WWE Super Slam. But you know, yeah, I like the clothes. I like how, you know, realistic and like down to earth the fashion is. But, you know, it's got enough spark to be like, okay, this is a good blader right here.
They're pretty cool. They're good enough. I'm sure we'll see some character design progressions, just like we did in the previous generations. But we'll just have to see. It's a good start off, but they wasted
Yep.
a few character designs already. Hopefully they bring them back. We talked on that a couple episodes ago, but to be determined.
Yep, for sure. Now, of course, one thing that I am still pissed about, and we didn't get a screenshot of this, which is fine, but it was the dumb, stupid thing that Beyblade X has been doing all season so far. After Stone Mont Blanc was knocked out of the stadium, we saw it hit the ground, and then we just didn't see it stop moving. 80K, look, I get it. It's tough. But is it this difficult to animate a couple more seconds showing the Beyblade stopping on the ground? Like, come on, look at Metal Fight. Every time a Beyblade went out of the stadium, it was an event that they lost. Here, it's just like, tink, and then we just don't see it stop. It just goes off screen, or it cuts the frame, and I'm sick of it. I want to see my satisfying shot of the Beyblade completely stopping and just being motionless on the floor. When are we getting that back, guys? Come on. Come on. Let's get real here. You know, in the wise words of the Discord soundboard,
Get your money up, not your funny up.
we gotta do that.
Oh,
But I mean,
great.
you know, come on, guys. We gotta get our money up and not our funny up. So let's see that. Let's see next time there's a loss. Let's see that Beyblade tink and then stop. And then we can move on with the frame.
Yeah, I don't know how long they've been working on this. I don't know. I'd like to think that they're quite a bit ahead. Like, I know One Piece has had some delays that I don't know if is exactly due to animation times, but some holidays and some different broadcasting stuff that they've had to delay a few recent episodes. But it's like, I don't know how far ahead they're working, if they're going to have time to work on another season prior to this one finishing, that they know what they need to improve on, or
Mm-hmm.
I just hope it doesn't become an endless cycle of catch up that they never end up being able to finish.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, I think a break would probably be a great thing for, 80K to do. Step back, make some more assets, make the worlds feel fuller. Or maybe they, go back for like a home release of the Beyblade X anime, which I think, would be nice. Or maybe, like if it goes out on Netflix or whatever, eventually they go back and they animate in more characters, more like background detail, to make the world fuller. I would love to see that happen because right now it's very dry and it feels lifeless. And, we've definitely talked about this before, so we won't go too deep into it, but, it's like we would really just want to see the world feel like it's full instead of just, the few main characters we see and then, a couple minor background characters. But
And that brings us directly into this screenshot here, that the logos for these teams are just horrible. Like the king logo, I don't does his the lion doesn't even have back claws. Like they just look like kitten feet. Like
no tail.
yeah, I don't know. From the first time I saw the team logos, I'm like, those are the ugliest things that like Microsoft Paint just kind of threw in there. And it was like, what are these? Like they're supposed to be cool team logos, and they just look like they were made by kids.
My dog has taken turds that look better than those emblems. But
I like
like
the art
it's
style, but they're just way too. Ugh.
it's a little off-putting. It's like maybe it's like either be like super simple or be complex. But like the in between here that they're trying to do, where it's like simple but like they do a lot of like little detailing on it. It just makes it look amateurish, because there's a difference between stylized, and then amateur. Obviously, this just doesn't look. It doesn't meet the balance here, and it's sad.
It,
I mean,
it, it
Personas
goes.
is okay. It's a little weird though, cause haven't they changed Team Persona's thing, like emblem, like 50 times already?
I thought they had. I thought at one. Well, I don't
Was it
know.
always just common silhouette there?
I don't think it was that silhouette, but I think it was common this entire time, which is
I don't.
it's
Maybe
different. I don't understand it really, but
the
I don't
emblems are
know.
just so
It goes
weird.
from such a cool looking anime, which is very simple but also just detailed enough to give it a little spark. To what are these? Like they're not even the same art style. Like I don't know where they came from.
Yeah, it's what was the the thought process behind these emblems here. And it's like Team Phalanx is also kind of dumb, and every other team that we've seen, it's just either I don't know. And this doesn't really scream Team Zuganic either. It really it kind of just it's like Team Pride or Team Lion or whatever. It's like where's the
It's
zoo aspect?
they're doing the leader, not the team.
Mm-hmm. True. That's true. I what's going on with these emblems? I kind of a pain in the butt. Oh man. So overall, I think episode 5 was pretty good. I think we had a lot of nitpicks with the overall animation that has been throughout. So I think a lot of our points for today were based on the just choices with the animation. Um, so we're not hating on this episode, even though it sounds like it. But there's things that we wish were done better for the entire anime that were again pointing out with this episode and that were prominent. So not everything is hating on this episode, but there were things that we didn't like about it, like the lobby being very empty and there no Beyblade representation ever. It just looked like a generic, lobby to wherever.
They did a good job for what they're doing, but it just doesn't seem like they're doing as well as they could. But we did get a lot of lore and complexity involving the actual universe of Beyblade. So we got some good pieces of information out of here, but obviously, like I said, we are just being critics because we are following this so closely. But 90% of the audience is like, oh my gosh, cool, Comet X is awesome, and we still are. But we just want the best for this generation. So we like to throw out our opinions, and feel free to throw out your opinions. We have the legendary R. Shout out to you, man. I know you're probably watching this right now. Love your books that you write in our comment section. They're very interesting to read. I love your points.
Oh yes, absolutely. So yeah, we definitely do read the comments, and why don't we actually do that? Because I kind of forgot to read the comments for our last episode.
Are you gonna be my
Yes, I am every subscriber. Here, I'll show what we're doing. We're checking out YouTube real quick, but Elliot, of course, posted on his personal channel about his 300. Actually, how far? You're close now, right? 394.
We're getting
Wow. Nice, dude.
there.
It was like 370 or 80 something last time I checked.
Yeah, no, I think I got 12 subscribers last week.
Wow, that is really good, man. Congrats.
Yes, sir. Appreciate
What
it.
the-
We're almost there.
I just scratched my ear for a second, and there's like a shit ton of earwax on my finger now. Where did it come from?
You're
My
wearing
ears-
headphones.
I don't even know, man. Dude, my ears are like whack as hell. Sometimes like a big wad of earwax will just fall out randomly. I don't know why. It's dumb. Ow, man, my headphones are like chucking my ear piercings into the back of my neck. It's killing me. Anyways, but let's
Back on topic.
yeah,
What
wait.
we're doing?
Crap, I forgot what our your comment section of Blade Dragons. Let me find that real quick. This dude, the legendary R. Whoa. Oh man.
Mhm.
Okay.
Shall I read it out loud to the class?
Go for it.
Okay, this one's for you, dude. I know we didn't respond to this one. It was just a lot to take in, so we'll break it down right now. Here are some things I wanted to mention after listening to this whole podcast. Appreciate you watching to the end. Great. The Beyblade X manga actually has a crossover with Frieren Beyond the Journey's End. I think it might be kind of challenging to find it. It came out last month with the manga chapter, so it's possible for them to have more crossovers if they wanted to do that. I think seeing that the Beyblade Burst manga showed Vault and Yokai watched the anime, it didn't happen. I also read some other manga pages, Beyblade and the other series, then compared them to the anime. A nice amount of things to cut out or changed even the adaptation of 1-to-1. I think Beyblade X is going to do a good strategy, faithful since most of the time manga is more freedom to make references to other properties than the anime does. Hasbro has always made an effort to have Beyblade website up and trying to make a digital version of the Beyblade to play with free during Metal Fight. I don't really even know where this is going.
You want me to take over the reading?
Sure, yeah.
During Metal Fight, they had codes with the Beyblades that went to the Beyblade site at a time, and during Burst, we have the Burst app and the QR codes on the Beyblades themselves. I think for X, they would probably make the QR codes from Takara Tomy work for their own app and make it a digital way to play Beyblade instead of being like the current X app we have in Japanese. The characters were looking at Bird because they were choosing the leader of the team. Bird wanted X to be the leader, but everyone picked Bird. What? I don't remember that part. I know some entry-level Japanese, so it was interesting to hear that Bird is the leader of the team despite not winning a battle at all so far. Interesting. I did not know that. Training scenes were in Burst 2. Vault trained and learned the basics of Beyblading. That wasn't our point, though, because our point was more about the fact that training, like, centers or, like, places where bladers would train in other generations were either, were at Beyblade gyms or shops or whatnot. But it's like, personal training centers were not common in other generations. A lot of it was outside training, sometimes not even doing Beyblade related things at all, like running or hauling tires. Beyblade has an obsession with characters training by roping tires to themselves and running.
Or
ever noticed that?
pulling cables or something. Like that was all Burst training was launching, pulling as hard as you could. That was literally part of the mini games on some of the battle islands was pulling a ripcord as hard as you can, and if you got over 900, you were a pro. And so I don't know. There's just a lot of differences between these generations, and I forgot what half of our points were in this last episode. That's why I got confused reading that. I was like, I forgot what we even talked about in the last episode.
Yeah, and then Legendary R goes on to elaborate more on the training and how Beyblade X is doing much better with realism, which, we definitely agree with that. Beyblade X is very much in line with something you would see, now or in the near future with the AI and augmented reality and hologram stuff. But, even then, the technology for that exists. So it's possibly not too far off. But yeah, definitely, definitely glad to see that somebody aside from us is watching our podcast. I definitely watch these when I'm on my way to work when they come out on Thursday, which is always a treat. But yeah, so before we finish, of course, we've got to go over some new stuff. We got new products to chat about. So December 27th, 2 days after Christmas, is going to be the release of our next item. Now, I want to say that this is going to be either an attack type or balance type. It's a very aggressive looking blade. It looks like it's got 3 main, like protrusive points here. So, I think it's going to be an attack type. And it kind of looks like Valkyrie a bit.
Yeah, I mean it's a similar design to a Hell Scythe, but I don't know. It's kind of a weak Shark Edge mixed with a Hell Scythe, kinda. Got
It
some
looks
protrusions
more,
of it.
I don't know, like it looks more like one of the later Valkyries to
Yeah,
me, with
I
like the
guess
3-bladed design.
I don't know. Saying that we come from Shark Edge and Drawn Dagger, I have to say it's probably a balance type. But saying we just got a balance type, I wait. So we got balance, attack. What's the
And then
rotation? I
defense.
think we're back to defense.
No, this should be a stamina type technically because
We just got Viper Tail though.
no, but then we got Drawn Dagger, Hell's Chain, and Rhino Horn. So next would be a stamina type because
Oh,
we've got
okay. I
yeah
forgot
because
about those ones. That's right.
yeah because the only stamina types we have are Viper Tail and Viper.
And Wizard Arrow.
Yep, and Wizard Arrow. And we've only got 2 ball bits where we've got 3 flats, 3 balance tips, and 3 like spike needle, high needle, and all that. But we only have orb and ball for that. So maybe we're gonna see, I don't know, what if this is a stamina type, this is gonna be like the weirdest stamina blade ever. Because
I
like
mean,
Wizard Arrow.
we did see that Viper Tail had some nice recoil on. So I don't know, but it doesn't seem like stamina's really a thing. But I don't know if I want there to be a release pattern because then we can predict what kind of bay the next one's going to be. So maybe these
Yeah.
first few are just getting the products out there so people can actually enjoy a good variety of types consistently. So maybe hopefully now they'll just start throwing in some random patterns.
I honestly with the silhouette here, I think it's gonna be an attack type because there is like that blade is. I know Viper Tail was aggressive, but it wasn't as aggressive as this design. This looks something more on brand with like Drawn Sword, with with the amount of like protrusions in the wheel there. That's gotta like this part right here has got to have a lot of recoil on it. Like
Yeah, I
this,
would assume
these
that they.
parts.
I know the community has struggled with the stamina of Shark Edge, and I haven't been able to tell if that was low flat or the layer. I haven't done any spin tests on any of them, but if they found that the layer was more of the stamina drainer, that maybe they're trying to reduce some of the protrusions and some of them to get more of a stamina attack and make a nice hybrid layer. So I don't know. We'll have to wait till December and then go to UX and
Yeah.
we'll keep moving, baby.
Oh yeah, everything is it's going fast. I am very curious about the soft case Because at this point in
Mm-hmm.
time, once I get, once I get the deck sets and Rhino Horn in, I'm gonna be at 24 Beyblades, which is like a lot. I have like 80 something Metal Fight Beyblades, maybe like 90 something if you include like my Tornado Battlers and my XTS stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And probably before we get to season 2, especially because we got another random booster, we got like 2 more random booster selects, and I think volume 2 was announced possibly. If I don't know, I gotta find that image.
Oh,
Where is
I already
that?
pre-ordered the next random booster, so I don't know when that's coming
Oh, is
out.
that up on
I
Mall of
think that's
Bays? Or
I pre-ordered it from yeah, Mall of Bays when I
shout out
pre-ordered
Zenki.
Viper Tail. Shout out Zanky. Yep. We do that plenty. Maybe one day he'll show us
So
some
we
love.
got another starter.
Yeah, I already bought some 20 BX24.
So we're getting okay. So let's see. So BX22 is probably gonna be this Beyblade,
Mhm.
and then BX23 is another starter. So we're probably gonna see that. That's probably gonna come out on the same thing, like on the same day.
Yeah, like
It's
Viper
gonna be
Tail
the same
Land
thing.
Claw.
Oh wait. Oh, Random Booster Volume 2. There it is.
Yeah,
Okay.
I already bought that one.
Interesting.
I click on it. I think that says December or
Uh,
January.
December
December.
2023. Oh man, really?
Yeah, so
Wow. So we're getting. And when does this come out? December 2023. I want to get this one. I want to
mhm.
get the. I love that. I love that. Zanky,
Yeah.
don't change this. But and then we got
No,
a
I was
booster
just
in
debating on
January. Okay.
getting more of my containers here because I was like I literally just unboxed all those bays and I have more plastic gen. I just got
Yeah.
60 plastic gen bays. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, now I need some place to put them."
Yeah. I'm curious about the soft case. I want to see what that's gonna look like. How many bays it holds. Because I know like the
Mhm.
metal fusion hard case from Takara hold like 8. It can hold 8, and then you can throw like a bunch of parts in it. It's like that's like at this point in time now, with with the deck sets and Rhino Horn showing up, and then we got the deck case. Although that's more of like a you would take that with you to a
Yeah, I've
tournament to hold your Beyblades in.
never used this. Once I got more than 6 bays, I never used
Yeah,
it.
I need that. I would use that if I was a tournament guy. If I went to tournaments, I would use that. I think right
I've
now
got
I,
some
I just
cool cases that I'm gonna unbox soon from Plastic Gen that I'm hoping to use for tournaments.
ooh, sweet, sweet, sweet. Yeah, I mean I'm definitely not gonna mass order like a ton of these
They're expensive. Holy
soft
shit.
cases. 55. Well, this is, to be fair, this is on Mall of Toys or Mall of Base, sorry.
But
So
still,
some of those proceeds go to Zenki.
well,
You know,
obviously I get that, but it's just
yeah,
like a soft case. Like, what? I don't understand. That seems like $40 for a case. Like, I think I got these clear things that I'm able to hold like 150 bays in for like 25 bucks.
yeah. So it's definitely, yeah. I mean, yeah, definitely Beyblade, like Beyblade storage cases, any branded storage case. Like I collect Hot Wheels. I've been a lot more lax with it lately because they're getting expensive now. It's like $2. I went to King's today and I got like 6, and it was like $2 per car, and I'm like, are you kidding me? At least Arizona tea is still 99 cents a can, but anyways, it's like, this stuff is expensive, and it's always like the branded like Hot Wheels cases are like $20, and you get to hold like 15 cars, and it advertises that, but it holds like 8 for
Mhm.
whatever reason, and it doesn't even hold them well. And then like I go to like Hobby Lobby and I pick up these like sewing cases for like $10 a pop. I get like 10 of them for 100, and then that's like 48 times 10, like 480 slots to throw cars in,
Mhm.
versus like spending 20 to get like 7 slots or whatever it was. So it's like I definitely think that there are much more efficient ways to store your Beyblades. The soft case is probably going to have that premium feel to it, but it's ultimately not going to be worth buying so many to store your entire collection in when we see that roll out.
Yeah, I'm
But
sure 90% of the customers are just getting their dozen and they'll just rotate each season. They'll probably end up getting 100 bays, 12 a season or something, get like the 5 main characters and then just keep going, but we're gonna have way too many and already running out of time to play with some of them. So
Exactly. Although I don't know. I don't know how to feel about, let's see, one, two, three, four. So, like, $200. Not even.
Mhm.
More like 250. Geez. Probably spend like maybe around 250 to $300 on just from these pre-orders alone on Zanky's site. You know, it
Yeah,
could be
see,
different on other
my
places.
whole aspect was trying to get BX24 because I was hoping it was going to have the other two boosters in it, which is probably not. I was very adamant to say, oh, I'm just going to put the random booster. If it's not a stock colorway, so be it. But they're just being stupid with it now. Everything, there's going to be one bay in each of those to be a main character. They're going to get the prize bay like Shark Edge, and then two of them you're going to have to spend your $20 on to get the other base. I'm like, dude, you're just bleeding me out. I don't know.
They just want your money, man. That's how it be in retail
Mm-hmm.
like that. They're just trying to get your money, which piss off for trying to steal my money. But I like these Beyblades, so sadly I'm willing to spend the money to buy them, even if they are like stupidly high price. But I'm hoping that Hasbro doesn't sell Beyblades for like $20. And to be fair, this is pre-order because all of these prices are gonna drop after.
Like Land Claw right now is
Why?
at $25. I've
Why?
seen.
What, man? To be fair, Zanky's shop. You know,
Well, these
you.
are. Is this Canadian or USD? Because
That's a
his
great
site his
question.
scroll down to the bottom. It is Canadian, I believe.
Is it CAD? It,
No, it's
oh no, you can
USD.
change it.
Okay. Yeah, so now it's Canadian.
Ooh. Eee. Oh, Canadian. So yeah. I mean, a lot of this money is for Zanky so that he can run his channel and continue to run the shop. So I will never dock Mall of Bays for their prices
No,
because
he does very good shipping. He's
mm-hmm,
on time with all of his shipping. So I definitely
absolutely.
approve of what he does. And obviously, I run a business that I know profit margins are everything. So
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously his pre-order is very limited compared to like Mall of Toys that they can just keep restocking. I think he might have gotten a dozen like starter sets, and he had to restock like two or three times.
Mm-hmm.
So he doesn't want to keep back stock. Like I know he's really trying to get rid of Burst right now, but he's doing a very good job. Keep it up, Snakey. We appreciate you in the community.
Absolutely, Zanky. Keep it up, dude. Like it's good stuff. So if you want to support Zanky, of course, probably all of you, or most of you at least, know who Zanky is. Mold of Bays is Zanky's store. If you want to support his channel, the best way to do it is to buy from his shop. And he's got all kinds of stuff. He's got a lot of Burst stuff available to buy, and there's a lot of Beyblade X stuff, and he gets that as much as he can. And the prices are higher on here, but a lot of that money does go to running the business, running his channel, and also supporting his family, I imagine. So
Mm-hmm.
Mall of Bays will always get a pass on the higher prices because those extra funds do go towards a good reason. So definitely never gonna talk smack about Mall of Bays.
Well, I think that that covers everything. We got some product talk. We got some old anime, new anime, some love, some hate, all around. We went over our comment section, so I think we might just
Mm-hmm.
try to brush over some comments maybe at the beginning of the video, show you guys some love for reaching out to us and giving you our feedback. So we appreciate all of you guys for staying to the end of the videos, especially the legendary R. He's our #1 fan so far. Maybe you guys can take that crown from him if you really want to, but he's at the top of
Mm-hmm.
the list right now. So thank you guys for watching. We appreciate you. Do you have any final words, Alex?
Yeah, definitely hyped for the next releases. Hyped for the next episode of the anime 80K. I hope you guys step it up a little bit. Um, and also next time I won't have my hat on because bad hair day. So, yeah, that's it for me. Yeah, we'll see you guys next time.
Blade Dragons out.